BIGETRON by Vitality in these 2 days has shown a completely new face. So the growth is there, the speed of learning is there. I wouldn't dare to say that one of the 2 leagues is growing faster. I wouldn't dare to say that one of the 2 leagues is learning faster. I could just say that the 2 of them, in their own very specific way, are just embracing their styles and they're just really polishing the little details.
Yeah, that's why I like the polishing is definitely, it has been great by both regions, right? And this matchup really shows us that, hey, this is just the start of the year. Can you imagine as we head into the middle of the year, end of the year, what PKL and IKL are going to look like? There's going to be a huge growth and surprise as well. Now, let's head into the bans and picks. The highest still going to be locked out of gameplay by BIGETRON, so no teams will be able to have access. BLACKLIST though, afraid of their own strategy, Trilight and Dolia.
Yes. That Dolia is going to have to live in the bans right now, because BLACKLIST cannot allow that combo in there. The Dolia can be paired with so many different heroes that right now that you can see actually the light at the end of the tunnel, do not even let it out. Look at the respect that they have over here for Bao, that the Dharma is going to be banned one more time.
Okay, that is massive respect. I think Bao has been impressive, right? I mean, even just now when things were not looking too great, Bao did manage to find himself in the middle of 5 members as a Charlotte. So, similar situation, you don't want the Dharma instead to be in the middle of 5, because that's a free truth mantra. So, BLACKLIST International, I like this first half of the bans.
Well, the Mai and the mods, they already had a very good result with the poking coming in from the Garuda in the past game. What about if we just try to emulate that with the long reach of the mods, not only with the poking, but also with the stun?
And this specifically for BLACKLIST International is a very scary potential, because Chaz's #1 hero is the Mortar. And Dragon has shown us since last year that his Mai is something you need to be very careful of as well.
So it's just gonna just come into the stun direct into the burst? Because if it is the stun direct into the burst damage, that's going to be very scary for BTR to defend. So it's gonna put a lot of pressure over there on F1 on that Lian Po.
Yeah, but I like it, right? Because if you have the gold advantage, then nobody bursts down a Earthshaker Lian Po. There's no way, right? So, and also if F1 is in the face of BLACKLIST International, you don't get that combination. So what if you have the Cannon Blast, he is CC immune, he's gonna interrupt all of your skills.
We run into the second round of bans. On one side, BLACKLIST International is going to ban the Flowborn, not going to allow the tank to be available in there, and the Jing. So Jing and Flowborn are going to be the bans from BLACKLIST International, just trying to narrow down the options that tank you can get. And on the other side, BTR is going to get on the Tricha and the Long as the bans, trying to just force Golden Kite into something not that strong.
I mean, this situation for the side of Golden Kite is not going to be ideal for sure, right? He's left with what? Magistrate Demons here. There is the Garo, there is Eren already used. So yeah, limited options here. And I mean, end of the day, you could go for a Gudo farm lane, but I wouldn't try that at this point.
No, please don't. It is such an important game right now. I'm just going for a Gudo farm lane right now. I don't think that would be beneficial for anyone. The Heino and the Yanjian might be the options here for BIGETRON. So that means that it's going to be that Yanjian jungler in here.
Yeah, it has to be, right? So Heino is going to go into the mid. We have Earthshaker, the Lian Po in the roam, and then, Guan Yu is going to be in the Clash lane. Very interesting setup. I wonder how much value this Heino is going to bring to the side of BIGETRON here.
What is going to be the option here? I would say DRNZ probably. Yes, it has to be the DRNZ. It's the last of the options that could actually work in some sort of way. Now it's not the best one, but at least the DRNZ in there is going to give you, if you make it to the late game, it's going to give you a little bit of an advantage. The problem here is going to be the laning stages.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult at this point. If we take a look at that mid lane matchup first, right? Dragon and Gen Myth. Gen Myth is going to be able to clear the lanes really quickly, so he's going to make that first few rotations. Unless Chaz comes in for the help. And this is going to be a situation where things can definitely change, right? If Zanki or Joshi decides that, hey, I want to go for that level 1 invade, it shakes everything up.
Well, if Joshi has been playing like that this whole day, right? Like he's been actually just being very, very brave into the first minutes of the game, not scared of actually going and jumping in there, being just daring to take some of the things that are not his. So if we know that Joshi has been like that, BTR is gonna have to prepare some kind of a trap for him.
I hope they do. I mean, this is something that, at least for today, that behavior hasn't really been punished yet by any of the teams we've seen play today. And, you know, conversely, I think if BTR tries it, BLACKLIST needs to punish them for it as well.
This game is going to be vital because whoever that wins this one is gonna get the first match point. And this match point for BTR and for BLACKLIST would mean completely different things. This match point for BLACKLIST would put them back into the race to try to get the first place. And the match point for BTR would be able to take them and put them already with the 2 victories, almost sealing the deal for that first place in Group A.
Yeah, I mean, getting to choose your opponents is going to be really important, right? Because you're choosing from the 3rd, 4th placing of the opponent group. And that could really give you the highest chance of getting that lion's share of the 100,000 prize pool, which is, you know, 35,000.
35K sounds like a great prize. I would love to start my 2026 with just an extra 35K in the bag.
Me too. And here we go. This is going to be a start of the poking game coming from Dragon. Very nice Kachosins to be able to lay down the pain. And looks like both teams will be not as greedy. They will start with their respective buffs in their own jungle.
But did you see that Joshi on that Aguto, like immediately, first thing he did as the timer just went off was just to go and check if he could actually take onto something.
Yeah. That's very important, right?
Love
That's
it.
a behavior you must always practice. Now, Dragon did find some value in that invade attempt. He actually got the task force camp away from the side of BIGETRON. So this is going to be a little bit scary in terms of the BLACKLIST doing great in protecting their own Azure Golem, making sure that no attempt of steal will come from Zankyu.
Well, Tranky right now is going to be extremely behind because he lost 2 jungle camps in there at a very early stage of the game. Joshi, on the other hand, just being able just to easily just farm around, cleaning up all of the camps in his jungle.
Alright, so kind of a different style of play here. They will be able to share their mid lane wave on the side of BIGETRON. BLACKLIST, they make a different kind of movement. Joshi here looking for some free damage on the farm lane T1.
The rotations coming in for BTR, they know that they need to start making some moves. They cannot let the advantage go in for BLACKLIST X very early in this game. Trying just to rotate together, but there's nothing that they can do at the moment. Very, very passive.
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to overextend. That's the main thing here. And Chaz, this is his main hero, so I expect a good performance coming in from this mortar. But right now, Zankyu and Joshi, this is neck and neck. Both of them are level 5.
Oof, look at that F1 taking extremely low. The Kachusins coming in for Dragon, hitting extremely hard, being very, very painful.
I like this adjustment from the side of BIGETRON, right? So knowing that BLACKLIST is known to put a lot of pressure on the farm laner, they have actually rotated Lanfeng to be more of a rotating farm laner. So he's getting farm from the mid lane, sharing gold in the jungle as well. And this is going to help him balance out his farm because people don't like this, but the Hano can play in the farm lane sometimes.
It is one of those things that comes from design. The way that the hero has been designed, because it can be melee, it can actually have some reach. So it just gives you that flexibility to use it in different ways, right? So it allows BTR to be able to make decisions during the game, just to play it by ear. On the fly, they can actually bring something to the table that Blacklist might not be waiting for.
That's true. I think the most important point here is that, oh, hang on, there is going to be a setup on the top lane. Ball will have to give first blood to the side of Blacklist International. And the rewards are going to be very nice here because it's going to be quite a bit of damage on the T1 on the clash lane for the top. Zhang Qiu does step in as a Yangjin. Don't think he gets the free kill here onto Chami1. Chami1 will be able to walk away. No, he will not. What was that? Why?
The timing of the Hound, I think that it was just exactly that, man. Like, he comes in, jumps in with the Hound at the beginning, and then they just stand it for such a long time. The Chami1 didn't expect that the cooldown for that ability was going to be online again so early.
No, but why would you stay? That's the whole point, right? So at this point, Blacklist, I think they have to find another angle at this point. No, none of the teams are going for the actual rush on the 4-minute neutral objective, which is the Tyrant here. They're more focused on making sure that they get the timing for the buffs. So this is where the wrestle starts to happen.
Wow, I'm telling you, right over there, that is what happens when you have the greed of the gold and the greed of just trying to clean the...
Yeah, it's going to be rewarding for the side of BIGETRON at this point. Also, bear in mind, the reason why they don't really go for the buff is because they have the numbers advantage. They have that Crimson Golem available for the taking if they need to. But Bao getting caught out by Dragon here. They're looking to get the setup as well. F1 not looking too good. And oh, hang on, quite a bit of damage. Jet Myth will be taken down. And that's a lot of free burst damage coming in. Golden Kite showing you what he can do with the lead here. Level 8 for himself. Bao, unfortunately, will not share a different fate here. He gets taken down, and Blacklist are just all across the map. T2 under pressure as well. Oh, Chaz using the ultimate to come in as well. Will not be able to finish the job. This is a return for Lanfeng, but immediately shut down by Golden Kite. And Blacklist International, 4-2 now, seems to have all the answers against BIGETRON by Vitality. Right, it's not looking too good for the side of BIGETRON by Vitality here. We'll take a look at itemization in a bit. Right now, BIGETRON needs to figure out where do we go across the gorge, because Blacklist has successfully taken quite a huge chunk of damage and put it onto that T2 on the top. And this is going to be a big concern for BIGETRON if they lose a T3 early in this game. Unstoppable. At the same time, if you take a look at the gold advantage, this is going to be 1,000 worth of gold going to the side of Blacklist. We'll take a look at where this massive gold lead is going to be coming from. And that's actually in the form of Chami1 winning against Bao. Now Chami1, he's going to be joining the team. It's a 4-man push at the bottom side of the T1. BIGETRON here suffering against the split push prowess of the Agudo by Jashi here. And everything in the jungle on the side of BIGETRON is available for the taking from Blacklist. As we head into the 7-minute mark here, it looks like Blacklist will try to put a little bit more pressure. Here we go. Zhang Qiu does not know that they're taking that Overlord. This is not the Shadow Overlord. This is only 7 minutes into the game, but Jashi, this is all of the gold advantage you can squeeze off of the map here. And with the rotations, Golden Kite has been free farming this entire game. And we'll take a look here. Nice knockup from the side of Dragon. He's not going to be too concerned about... secure his Azure Golem. against that onslaught coming in from Blacklist. But that is not the true target. The true target here for the sort of Blacklist International is going to be that T2 on the top. If they can find more value before the 10-minute mark, this is going to be a very tough game for BIGETRON to come back from.
Has destroyed a tower.
Now job is done. Golden Kite does have that T2 taken down for free. Blacklist start to move around the map. They want to secure more resources. The next big one that's available for the taking is going to be the Crimson Golem coming in for the side of BIGETRON here. Immediately given sight of. And here Joshi starts working on it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what is going on in here. Right now, it's a 2,000 gold advantage for Blacklist International. They are completely in control of this game. I like the way that they're playing right now. It's just like you can see the presence. You can really feel what Blacklist International is trying to do through this 2026. The total domination of the game.
It's a very commanding position, right? Because Golden Kite, not only does he have the level advantage, he has the gold advantage as well. And BIGETRON right now, they're trying to figure out, okay, where is this gap? Where can we squeeze an advantage out of? They can't find anything. ZanQ is one level behind Joshi. He's not able to tank too much. He does not have the refresh because there was no Dolly available. So BIGETRON, they have to figure something else out at this point.
I am not a big fan of the Yanjian without the Dahlia, man. I'm just gonna put it out there and I'm just gonna say it very straightforward. I do believe that the Yanjian without the Dahlia is just a strat for the sake of a strat. Let's wait and see what Landfong can do on that early, and hopefully it is gonna be something that is gonna be very useful, because that right now already 3 items Landfong. He needs to start carrying a little bit more of the team.
This one is a difficult one to have, right? Straight away, Blacklist International, they're already working on that Shadow Tyrant at this point. It's going to be secured by them. Right now, the challenge is, can they secure this Overlord? Will not be stolen. They have to give the life of Chammy 1. Chammy 1 will take a fall. And this is where the setup is going to be very important from the side of BIGETRON. If they can get the kills onto Blacklist, it will be phenomenal. But that's not going to happen. Golden Kite comes in for that finishing blow onto Bao. This is going to be a 4v3. Landfong changes the entire fight. Golden Kite, he's now in a 1v4 situation. Joshi will be able to make it out safely. But Golden Kite, he still wants more. Gets that golden token down. One more hit. Going to be the finishing blow. Unable to find it. So Blacklist International, they will make it out by the skin of their teeth.
So close. It was just so tight right over there. F1 just running away with one little tine of his HPR, man. Like, it's just gonna be really hard for him. Well, right now BTR trying to balance things a little bit again. Even though they lost the Tyrant, but they gained this Overlord. It's gonna give them a little bit of the room for breathe, a bit more oxygen.
I think at most, Blacklist are going to give them about a minute and a half, right? That's how much time they have. But we'll take a look at this previous fight here. Chammy 1 giving his life, I thought that was a worthwhile sacrifice. If Blacklist could finish the job here, unfortunately, the ultimate by Joshi did not find too many members.
No, if they could have actually come in and steal that Overlord, that would have been totally worth it. But they came in and they just went back home empty-handed. That was a very big issue.
Dragon here hiding and waiting for that knockup. Finds the flash initiation, unable to find the finishing blow though. Dragon is dropping so low. Nice jump in from the side of Bao. Can they get the lives on the side of Blacklist International members? No, they cannot, but they can take the T2. Instant answer coming in from the side of BIGETRON. Now setting their sights onto the T3s. Blacklist in trouble. Can they stop this onslaught of structural damage? They cannot.
No, they can't.
Finishes the job.
Right now in here, in just one couple pushes, BIGETRON taking control of the game one more time. This is just like a pendulum. It goes to Blacklist, then it goes to BTR, then can it just go back to Blacklist one more time? That is the question that we have. But the momentum right now, it is completely in BTR's hands.
This is a big swing, right? And nice recovery by ZanQ. He is going to be able to catch up a little bit in terms of farm against Joshi, in terms of levels as well. He is still trailing by that half a bar of experience. But the rest of the team members, they're catching up. That's the big difference here.
The whole battlefield is a little bit more balanced, right? It is just coming in to be a little bit more of ununderstandable. Look at Yan Jens over there coming in, trying to find the flank, but it's gonna be spotted by the Majin.
I think the biggest difference maker here is the fact that Lanfeng actually now has space to work around the edges of Blacklist International's composition here. And because of all these free pokes coming in, Blacklist don't really get the ideal start to that fight.
Yes. And that's the issue, right? Like, it comes in when the fight is going to start already their health bars are already just pretty low. It's already like 50% of their health bars and the fight has not even yet started.
That's the value of Gen Myth as well, right? As the Hano, all these stacks, look, he's getting the damage in, and every single catch is going to be worth it. Nice catch by Bao. He was the one getting caught out this time. It is BIGETRON that find the answers. That's Shashi down, Chairs down as well. And the base potentially open for the taking if they can get rid of this T2 in the middle. You can see Zanki already starting to work on the minions. There is no answer. Golden Kite, he was in a great position before. That is no longer the case.
The power spike starts showing right now as we get to 14 minutes. We can start seeing that BIGETRON by Vitality, they have control. They're going to have a power play for the next 13 seconds, and they might have minions to take all of the turrets down.
They do. T3 at the bottom is going to be taken for free. No answer just yet from the side of Blacklist International. In fact, make that 3 lanes all open. Blacklist International now have to deal with a barren base.
BTR was losing on the map for such a long time, and then just after a couple fights, look at where we are right now. They changed the story, took the script of this game number 3, and they completely tossed it in the bin.
Yep, this one was Blacklist International putting their foot off the gas, but also because of the way that the draft works. Hang on, this is a huge catch onto Lanfeng as well. He will be taken down. Can they finish the job? Dragon needs to be punished for the sins. He will be taken down. Here comes Sankyu as well. Gets the lifesteal. Can they finish the job? The next one to fall is going to be on the side of Chami 1. 44 seconds out of the fight, and they're still in fighting shape here. Gen Myth lands that
Super minions.
Scepter of Fate as well, and here are the minions. Zankyu looking for the potential end. Wants to go in. Does he have his ultimate? Finally has it. He will be able to push them out. And IKL recover in game number 3. Game set. Series point for BIGETRON.
What a game did we just watch? Blacklist had the advantage, then BIGETRON took it away from their hands, and they're going to seal the victory, and they're gonna be the first team with the match point. Congratulations to BIGETRON by Vitality. With this performance, they are 1 game away from their second victory in this KIS4.
Yeah, we definitely need to look at the highlights here, right? Itemization, yes. They got to the late game, they got that power spike as well, but they were suffering. BIGETRON was not having a good time at all in the early parts of this game.
Love it, man. Like, if you can see, at the beginning, I was not loving the way that BIGETRON was playing. Like, the truth is that BTR at the beginning of the game did not have any direction, and Blacklist looked a lot more dominant. It was just those little mistakes by Blacklist that allowed the 2-3 fights that just took all the turrets away. It was not even just a very big BIGETRON move. It was just 2 or 3 fights that they just consecutively, in just that fashion, destroyed the Blacklist dream.
I felt like they just lost vision of the farm laner, right? For the side of BIGETRON,
Yeah.
right? Lanfeng just suddenly went out of sight. And Gen Myth was always allowed to use the Scepters of Fate to get free damage before the actual fight begins. That did not happen in the early part of the game. Dragon was able to get those real engine setups with the flashes. You know, Jashi was able to get the Tumble Furball setups for the team. And, you know, out of the blue, it just stopped happening.
It was just BTR just replying back to it, right? It was just such a great game. I love the way that how Bao just played on that one. You just coming in from the flank. It just putting a lot of pressure on the backline from Blacklist. That sometimes you do not see that much that work, right? But just the fact that his existence around just makes the whole team just to be thinking about where is he, what is he doing, and just puts a lot more preoccupation on the brains of the Blacklist players.
Yeah, I mean, in a high-stakes match like this is where information is really important. But focal point is also something you have to take a look at, right? So when you're so focused on the other members of BIGETRON, Lanfeng gets the poke for free, and he had a pretty impressive scoreline here, 5-2-2.
Lanfeng, another solid game by him. Another solid game. He stood up when the team needed him to do, which is going to be this 2026 BTR new DNA of having multiple people that can raise up their hands and they just take care of the team. On the other side for Blacklist, I love the way that they play, and I am not able right now to see exactly in which moment of the game things just kind of like started falling apart, and what was the reason of these things to start falling apart. What was the reason behind just losing all of those fights?
I think one of the main things is the fact that Changmin lost sight of Bao, right? Bao was actually punished pretty hard by Changmin in the early stages of the game. And because of that advantage, they actually allowed Golden Kite to get an insane amount of lead, not just in the farm, but EXP as well. He was chunking the members of BIGETRON down. And once they lost sight of Bao, who seems to be this big game changer as well, and allowing Genmid to get those Scepters of Fate down. This is where the so-called downfall and turnaround happened, right? Really late into the game. This was what, 13 minutes plus.
And really late and in a very short span of time. Look at how small span of time it is from the moment where we have a 4,000 gold advantage in gold for Blacklist onto the last minute of the last moment of the game. It is what, 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes? Something like that.
Probably so. I mean, if we take a look at the stats here by the Clash Trainers, I don't think the issue is here, right? This is not where the critical turnaround happened for BIGETRON to be able to take the series against Blacklist. As we work through our way for the different lanes itself, my guess is probably Genmith, right, in the mid lane, because he was really throwing many Scepters down, and I don't think anyone dealt with him at the later parts of the game.
Well, that's one of the beautiful things about having that Hano pick, right? Like you can just deal damage from either short distance or a long range. And then in some sort of moments, like you don't even understand what's going on, and then you just look at your HP bar and it's already like a 20%. So the way that Genmith played on that Hano, and the mechanics of that Hano allowed him just to be a very big trouble for Blacklist. In front of him, Dragon, I saw a couple moments where Dragon on that Mai was being a little bit over aggressive, and he ended up paying with his life.
Okay. So we get to see the main difference here, right? So the situation that presented itself, Genmith, number one, was able to tank a little bit more for the team. At the same time, because he was the focal point on the side of Blacklist International, this opened up the room for Lanfeng as the RLE to really just go in and get the damage done. And one thing that really complimented them was there was a couple of moments in the later parts of the game where F1 got a pretty nice Tremor Smash. But here we go, MVP. It's going to be Zhang Q for his performance on this Yangjian Tri-Light.
3-0-2 is going to be the KDA for Zhang Q, the Tri-Light Yangjian, the MVP. Did not have the best of starts, but then after that, kind of just took responsibility of what he needs to be as the captain of the team and came in and just allowed BTR to be one step away from their second big victory of this KIS4.
Yeah, and this is where the lane matchup matters a lot, right? Changmin was really just giving all of the pain to Bao in the early parts of this game, and you could see when Golden Kite had the advantage, they could not do anything. Genmith could not even use his ultimate to full effect.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like when Golden Kite has an advantage, there's nothing that no one can do. Like his mechanics are on point, and if his heroes have a little bit of an edge, he can really capitalize out of that.
Right, we'll take a look at this. So Genmith is actually laying down the pain here, and this nice flank. Yeah, look, Lanfeng left all alone. Perfect setup by the side of his F1 roam as well. That was where the damage came in, and once they had the gold to buy the appropriate items, yeah, this game was over.
In here, that's one of the moments where I'm saying that might have to just overstep in there. That he comes in, he wants to go in for the kill, but then after that, leaves his team with one less player, one less key player in there.
Now, this is a very stressful situation, especially for PKL fans, because right now